Hey, what's up everyone? Tony here with another video lesson. Apologies if my voice sounds kind of weird. I just got over a really bad cold. But today I want to talk about a lesson of my trade on COCP where I made $1,700 and some change. I made like 55% or so after all of my averages. Very nice trade, very happy with it. But it was nothing crazy, nothing special. It was just another trade based on my A+ setup, a setup that I teach every single day to my students in TradeBuddy, and I've taught many times on this channel. So hopefully you guys are starting to see the power of the basics in trading. That's all what this setup is based around. It's just the basic fundamentals, which makes it very easy to learn and very easy to scale. So I'm not going to take up too much of your time, but if you guys have any questions throughout this video, make sure to leave a comment down below and I'll be happy to answer anything that you have based on this A+ setup. So with that being said, I'm going to get into the lesson. This was a recording I did with TradeBuddy earlier today. So we do a pre-market webinar where number one, we talked about this stock in pre-market. It was my number one watch. And also we do a trade recap every single trading day whenever I have a trade. So lots of awesome content in there. But yeah, with that being said, make sure to take out a notepad, take some notes on this lesson because I do think it's a powerful one. All right, I'll see you guys inside the lesson. So this is going to be a lesson on my COCP trade. Made about $1,700 on this one. Pretty unexpected, but it was an A+ pattern, A+ setup. So we were watching this one in pre-market, in the pre-market webinar. COCP released news. They had a license agreement with Kansas State University Research Foundation for norovirus and coronavirus antiviral compounds. And we were talking about this in the pre-market webinar that over the weekend, we were getting lots of new hype, new hysteria surrounding the coronavirus because it is spreading in countries outside of China. There's South Korea, Iran. We're seeing more cases come up every single day in these other countries than China, which shows that it may now be past the point of being contained, and it could start, having huge amount of cases just spread all over the globe. So lots of renewed hype, lots of renewed hysteria, and having COCP release that news today was a perfect storm. So now we have the news, and let's see float of COCP. It's only 18 million shares, and keep in mind, this stock today, when the news came out, was only like a 50-cent stock. So 18 million shares on a stock that's less than $1 per share is not that outlandish, not that unrealistic. And in pre-market, the number one thing I said was that I'm only going to be interested with this play as long as it can show me that it's supporting 82 cents. It could do either two things. Number one, has a breakout above the 90-cent level, holds that as support. If not, then it holds the 82-cent level as support. And the reason why I was so interested in the 82-cent level was because it was simply the previous resistance as new support on the daily chart. And this is just a very classic breakdown of my A+ setup. I'm simply looking for a low float stock that has a news catalyst, and then I go into the daily chart and look to find previous resistance holding as news support, and then the next level that I want to lock in profits is the 200-day moving average up here at 150. So very, very simple setup. You can already see it on this chart. You buy into previous resistance as new support at 82 cents. you lock in profits into the 150s, and you make sure you sell all of your position once it gets to 150. And that right there shows you profit potential of 79%, 80% profit. And you might be thinking, wow, that's way too big of a profit target to go for. It's never going to go that far. Well, it happens, and this one did. So like, this pattern repeats very often. It has a very nicely like defined set of rules, and it's the same system, the same strategy that you follow every single time. And this is every single trade that I make is based around this type of strategy. So COCP opened up at market, and it started to have like a tiny sell-off. Had a little sell-off here, and it actually broke pre-market lows, and this made kind of a trap for sellers. Lots of sellers hopped into this, aka lots of longs stopped out once this broke the lows, because they just imagined, okay, now this is going to be falling off. Lots of longs sold, lots of sellers hopped into the market. Once we broke these lows, they all hopped in there, but then they quickly reclaimed VWAP. And once it did that, that just like made a huge flag in my head saying, okay, wow, you know, lots of sellers are trapped there. It's now holding VWAP. This might start to look very bullish. And once it passed over this line here, the 82-cent level, that's when I was saying, okay, this thing is looking very bullish. I'm going to start buying some shares here, risking the break underneath the 70-cent level. And you might be saying, you know, that's a pretty big risk, which usually, yes, I would obviously agree with you, because this would be risking about, you know, 19-20%. But the profit target on this trade, you know, from here to the highs, 78%. I mean, that's 1 to 5 risk reward ratio. And the main thing too, whenever like I have a huge risk like this, like 20%, usually what I do is I like to leave the trade in pieces. So for example, if this did break down, I would have left half the trade once it broke VWAP, and then just leave the rest once it broke 70 cents, which would kind of like minimize my losses. But anyways, the main thing is you had a big trap form at market open, which is going to squeeze out all of those sellers. And once you see it turn bullish, and once like it reclaims a level that you were looking for previous resistance as new support on the daily chart, that's when you want to go long. That's when you want to hop in. And from there, I mean, for me, because this was the first trade that I've really like taken ever since I've gotten sick. I've been taking small trades here and there, but nothing with like size like this. I was being a bit conservative, and I wanted to lock in profits like while it was moving. And let's see, I sold 1,000 shares at $1. I sold 500 into the 117s, the 130s, and then I sold the rest above 140. The main thing you can see from this chart is just, you know, how obviously that 200-day moving average was playing a role as resistance into this. So you have to trust the chart. You have to trust the chart's history, because I mean, these are very basic rules, and these are the rules that you learn very early on when you start trading, but you kind of don't understand how powerful they can be if you just use these rules with your trading. Previous resistance becomes new support. You go to the daily chart, you find those levels, buy into previous resistance as new support, and you sell into the next resistance overhead. So, you know, once I had that trade, I wasn't really looking to hop back into this. Like I said, I was a bit sick, so I actually went and like had like a 3-hour nap. So you know, very nice. Had a huge trade on COCP. This trade took, I think, from start to finish, let's see how much time it took, from 10:15 to 11:25. So just about 1 hour of trading, and I made almost 2 grand. So very, very powerful stuff here. Just goes to show how profitable you can be when you trade, as long as you focus on the right rules. All right, hopefully you guys enjoyed that lesson. It was a very fun trade to take and a very fun lesson to make. Like I said, lots of students, they hit their trading record off this trade today. You could see some screenshots here. There's Raquel, Usama, and so many more. So congrats to those. And if you are interested in learning more about trading, maybe you're not ready to jump into my program quite yet, but you do want more content, click the first link down below. It's basically just a free trading workshop, and you get a ton of PDFs, a ton of tools that I personally made for trading. Number one, you get my ebook of how to day trade every single morning, and you also get my trading checklist, the exact checklist I used for this trade on COCP. I use this checklist every single day, and you can get it right now with that first link down below. And you also get access to I think 5 videos that were straight ripped off of my course. So lots of free content there. Go check that out. If you're interested in becoming one of my students, you can click the second link down below where it says lifetime mentorship. It's a very powerful program. There's one student I had, her name is Arthi, turned $800 into over 25 grand, and her next milestone is going to be 50 grand and then 100 grand, and that's going to happen very soon, I'm sure of it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Like I said earlier, if you have any questions, drop them down below in the comment section, and then I'll be sure to reach out to you and give you the help that you need. All right, that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video.